it's your boy Davidoff. So I am late to the party, very late to the party to be honest, my apologies, but I finally watched Wandavision a few days ago, and I also literally just finished watching The Falcon and Winter Soldier as well, so there's 2 reviews coming up including this one. So as for Wandavision, this show, when it first got announced, I wasn't that excited, admittedly. I wasn't that excited. I'm a big fan of Wanda. I like her storyline, although it's very depressing. She's been through a lot, but she's one of my favorite characters for sure. Definitely my favorite female character in the MCU. She's just awesome. And she almost took down Thanos one-on-one in Endgame as well. She's extremely powerful, and obviously I knew who she was in the comics, and she didn't fully unlock her powers yet. I knew about that sort of stuff. So for that I was quite interested, because maybe this was that show where she gets more of those powers. But at the same time, I'm just like, WandaVision? Why is Vision there? Is he back? Or I was just wondering, like at first I thought it was going to take place between Civil War and Infinity War, like some sort of like romance sort of journey sort of thing. I thought wrong, clearly, as the show, I've just watched the show. And then they announced a few things. It was part of it is going to be in the 80s, which I was confused about. Monica Rambeau was announced. Obviously she was the king of Captain Marvel. Before I watched Captain Marvel, I knew about Monica Rambeau. I did a bit of research. I knew about Monica Rambeau, so to see that she exists in the MCU I thought was pretty cool, because based on what I saw, she's quite a cool character. So when they announced in WandaVision, I was just like, okay, what's her role in this? Like, what's she got to do with this? But also I was excited to see that this might be like an origin for her as well. Maybe she gets her powers here or something. So I was intrigued about that. But yeah, when I saw the trailers, it didn't do much for me. It was definitely not what I expected, but also not what I wanted. It just looked weird, looked sitcom-ish. I knew there was something wrong. Like I knew like there was some sort of, alternate reality, some sort of. I had that idea, but I was also just like, I'm not sure. But that's not why I delayed watching it. It's because I hadn't had the time. I've had the time, but I go to work, 3 YouTube channels, Twitch channel. And when I have free time, I watch too much YouTube videos. I need to spend more of that free time watching TV shows, because I missed out on something quite interesting. I would have loved to watch it when everyone else was watching it, because it certainly blew up on the internet. And I think I did pretty well to avoid spoilers, to be honest. I think I saw one scene. But yeah, let me actually get into reviewing this. 9 episodes, and it went by a little too quickly. To be fair, the first 8 episodes were what, 30 minutes long? I know it's 37 minutes, but it's like 10 minutes credits, so around half an hour long. Then the finale was the big one. Now, I have an OLED TV in my room, and I have Disney Plus with my phone contract. And Disney Plus on the television, they have HDR, 4K, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, you name it, the best possible quality. So I got to watch it in the best possible quality in my room. Maybe not the best possible quality, maybe there's better TV out there, but I got a 4K OLED that has all these capabilities, right? And in terms of like the visuals, I don't think like it's necessary to watch on a big TV up until the finale. The finale was really epic, and episode 8 as well, to be fair, looked really good. The rest of it didn't need the high quality. I just thought I'd mention that. Nothing to do with the content of the show, but they don't go like action heavy until the final 2 episodes. Before that, it's mainly build up. In terms of the actual build up, the first 2 episodes I felt were a bit slow. Obviously, after you find out what happens, it starts to look better. I feel like if I rewatch it all now, it will all be a lot more amazing, and I'll get some of the references in the first episodes a lot more. But in terms of like the first time viewing, the first 2 episodes didn't really do it for me, but I also knew there was something weird going on. I wanted to see what would happen, because I knew Wanda was powerful. I knew about certain things, so I was looking forward to seeing what they were going to do with this. Then episode 3, it started getting good. Episode 4, even better. Episode 5 was crazy. The ending to that one, oh my days. And the last 3 episodes, 4 episodes actually, 6 to 9, they knocked it out of the park. There was a lot of crazy things in there. I'm not going to say too much because spoilers, but maybe there's some minor spoilers that I might mention. Like this. Remember the snap? The second snap by Hulk bringing everyone back. So there's a scene here where there's people in a hospital coming back, dusting back. So this is the moment that Hulk snaps, obviously. So people start coming back, and it's just chaos in a hospital. I wanted to see more scenes like that. That's one thing I felt that was missing from Infinity War and Endgame. We got like an after credit scene in Infinity War, which showed some things, helicopters crashing. But I feel like when you wipe out half the population, I would have liked to see what would have happened to the real world outside of the superheroes. I wanted to see more of that. Didn't see much of that chaos. We saw the aftermath mainly in Endgame. But in this one, you actually see like people coming back in hospital and everything. I thought that was cool. I want to see more of that. I don't know if we will see more of that in future, but it was good that we got a glimpse of that, I think. But there's an important character who comes back from dusting who plays a key role in this. Also, Monica Rambeau I felt was pretty cool. Not going to say too much what happens to her, but she does play a bit of a role. And obviously with the links to Captain Marvel and everything, there's some references. I always love the idea of a cinematic universe, you know, even before the MCU. I love the idea of like different things crossing over. So the MCU is like a dream for me. It's like, wow, they made one of these things exist and made it work. So like in episode 3 and 4, you get a character from Ant-Man and the Wasp that arrives here, a character from Thor, side characters, but a character from Ant-Man and the Wasp, character from Thor, character from Captain Marvel, of course, Monica Rambeau. A lot of these characters just happen to come together to deal with a situation, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of references as well, references to Captain Marvel, references to the comic books. I really like how they reference things. Obviously, you kind of look for that in Marvel movies and TV shows, and this was no different. The references here were good, I think. Episode 6. When I was watching episode 6, basically Wanda, I'm not going to say what she sees, but she sees certain things. She sees some people in a certain way sometimes. And one part of the show really got me, like a proper jump scare. Basically a character, it's not really, it's a minor spoiler, but there's a character who sort of like turns into a zombie temporarily, and I'm watching it at 4:30 in the morning, and it's dark. I got the lights off. Scared the crap out of me. I don't know why I mentioned that. It's not part of the review, but I thought I'd just mention that. Also, one thing I really like is you get to see a lot more from Wanda's backstory. So, you know the storyline they mentioned... No, not storyline. It's not a story. Quicksilver and Wanda, they mentioned about getting bombed by a Tony Stark bomb. They sat under the bed waiting for the bomb to go off. It was defective. They explained that story in Age of Ultron. In this series, you see that. You see what happens with her family. You see what happens with that bomb, Stark's bomb, like exactly how they described it in Age of Ultron. You see the scene here. Like, you get to see a proper backstory, which I think is really good because obviously you get to see more about how a character develops, and I like the way that it's done. There is a villain. It doesn't seem like it at first, but there is a villain. I'm not going to say who it is, right? He's not necessarily... The villain isn't necessarily the main threat, but there is a bad side. There are bad people involved, and that's all I will say. I'm not going to say how they're involved or what's happening, but there are certain bad people involved that may or may not need to be stopped. Episode 8 is very much emotional. Just the way it's done, Wanda's backstory. It's tough. It's tough. There's a lot of flashbacks from like Thanos killing Vision, her past, before that, Quicksilver's death. There's a lot of trauma, and you get to relive it in the show through her, and it's painful. She's been through a lot in the MCU, and it looks like her life is only just getting started. There's an after credit scene in the finale as well. There's a few after credit scenes actually, the last 3 episodes, but after the show ends, there's another after credit scene where she's... Well, I'm not going to say what she's doing, but she is going to be in Doctor Strange too. He's not in the after credit scene. It's nothing like that. But obviously she's going to be in that movie, and there's a scene at the end after credits which you might be interested in. It doesn't connect to any other movie like Doctor Strange. It's just something that is interesting and will lead on, I'm sure, to Doctor Strange, whatever she's doing in that scene. A lot of the backstory in episode 8 plays on what happens in Infinity War, obviously, because of what happened. And the finale is epic. This is where it starts to get really good. The visuals always look pretty good. It looks a bit bright though, to be fair. But the visuals always look pretty good. But in terms of like, you know, you don't need to watch it like on a big screen. Most of the show I felt you can watch on a laptop and it would look great anyway. But the finale, get a big screen. You know, it's a good finale. I like what they did. It started off slow, but then it went by too quickly. That's the main issue. The first episodes were quite slow, and then after that, it just started to get better and better and better. And most of the episodes were like half an hour long, and only the last one was like 50 minutes. So that was that was a little bit frustrating for me because I wanted more. Having said that, I'm pretty sure these shows are meant to feel like extended movies rather than, you know, like proper TV shows, which I like. I think that's good. Like I always like the Netflix 6-episode type thing. So if they can do short shows like they've done with 2 shows so far, I'm all for it. And Loki's coming out next month, I think. I'll review that one a lot sooner, or I'll do weekly reactions if I have the time. We'll see. But that's a different discussion. But Wandavision is good. I could go on and on about my thoughts, but I wanted to keep this as brief as possible. But there's so many things I could talk about. It's pretty cool. I had my theories. None of my theories were right, but I did know there was a character that I was like, okay, there's something up with this person. I'm not going to say much else because spoilers. I'm keeping this to minor spoilers, not major spoilers. But yeah, it was awesome. Great finale. This wasn't like an amazing show, but it was good. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I like what they did. But if I wasn't a Marvel fan, I'd probably switch off after episode 1. I'd be very confused, to be honest. The fact that I was a fan of Wanda and, you know, Marvel movies in general, that kept me going. But it was worth the wait because episode 3 onwards starts to get good. So yeah, I like that. I'm looking forward to seeing where they take Wanda in the future, because I want to see her have a really long story and time in the MCU. I think it would be great, considering they got the X-Men now and they got the rights and everything. To introduce the X-Men, I would love, like, I don't think they're doing it anytime soon, not yet. They're doing Fantastic Four first, which is fine. They're going to wait a few years for X-Men, which is fine. But I hope that Elizabeth Olsen is still there with the MCU by then, because I want the Scarlet Witch to be there when you know, when the X-Men come into the universe. I think that'd be great. There's many stories you can do with the X-Men as well. So the fact that they've lost big characters like Iron Man, Captain America, technically Hulk as well, because he's Smart Hulk now, which for me is a bad idea. But the point is, there's a lot of big heroes in the MCU that have, you know, fallen in different ways. The X-Men are the answer to bring big characters back and new characters and keep that momentum going. So, you know, and Scarlet and Wanda could be the bridge to doing that. So I'm looking forward to seeing her future, and I'm very excited to see what she does in Doctor Strange 2. That's the one I'm most excited for in the upcoming Marvel movies, more than anything. I want to see what that movie's like. I cannot wait for that. So yeah, but I've seen the Celebrating the Movies trailer, Fantastic Four announced, sort of, as well. So I'm looking forward to what they got coming up. They got like 3 movies coming out, I think, this year, obviously, to make up for 4 movies coming out, actually. I think there's 4 movies. There's Eternals, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and Spider-Man. Obviously, last year there was no movies, so we get 4 this year. I'm excited. And also Loki, the TV show, is coming as well. And is there another show this year? I don't know. I'm kind of hoping there is. Anyway, I heard there's a new Star Wars show out as well. Bad Batch, right? I need to watch that. But yeah, I'm going to go review The Falcon Winter Soldier now. So this show, as a rating, WandaVision is 7.5 out of 10. I'm not giving it a high rating because I don't think it was that good, but I think it was good, and I think it was interesting for Wanda's story arc. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and see ya.
I should go, no, I don't wanna let you down.